I kid you not, I've kind of had like an unhealthy obsession with this game as of late. I just can't stop playing it. It is so freaking good. I'm just like, I truly am obsessed with it. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel today. My name is Carly and today we're going to be doing a playthrough of Rolling Realms. More specifically, the Redux version of Rolling Realms. A couple of months ago, or maybe was it last month? I think it was last month. It had been a hot minute since I played Rolling Realms, and so a little bit ago I pulled it off the shelf, sat down and I played it, and I honestly have not been able to stop playing this game. It hasn't left my table in like 3 months or so, 2 months or so. Like, I just keep playing this game. Like I said, I'm like borderline obsessed with it. It's not healthy. But Stonemaier Games is actually sponsoring a handful of playthroughs throughout this year for Board Game Buzz. So I've been playing this game so much, I was like, you know what? Let's just sit down and let's just do a playthrough of Rolling Realms. However, it's not an ordinary playthrough. What I really wanted to do for this video was actually play against you. So if you actually have your own copy of Rolling Realms at home, I want you to break it out and open it up, and we're actually going to kind of play this game together and see who gets the higher score. Newsflash, it's gonna be you, because even though I love this game, I'm terrible at it, like most games. I really thought this would be kind of like a fun way for us to kind of interact with each other and basically sit down and play a board game today. Before we jump too far into this video though, let's go ahead and kind of explain what Rolling Realms is. Rolling Realms is a fantastic roll and write game from Stonemaier Games. Players will compete to earn the most stars in a series of minigames over 3 rounds. Each turn, one player will roll 2 dice, and then all players will use the dice results on their realm cards to generate resources and earn stars. I actually happen to have the original Rolling Realms game as well, but all the cards that we're going to be playing in this particular playthrough are actually just the ones inherently in the one, or they're the ones that come with the Redux box. But if you do have both of the games, they actually all fit, at least in the well, I don't know. I bet they would actually, would they fit in the original box? They probably would fit in the original box, but they definitely fit everything, all the content for the game. There's plenty of room within this Redux box, so I just have it all combined into this one here. Something that I find just so fascinating and interesting about this game is how all of the little mini games that you're going to be playing are actually other games, and you can kind of see the undertones for those particular games that you're going to be playing in these mini games. So right now, just starting off the bat, the games that we're going to be playing for this first round of the game is going to be Tidal Blades, Meadow, and then the Guild of Merchant Explorers. I mentioned before how I have both of the games actually combined into this game, so there are lots of games that you're able to play, so many that I'm sure are very recognizable. I even have a handful of what are they called, like the promo cards. So for example, like Dinosaur Island here is a great one where you're going through and kind of like building up your little version of Jurassic Park, right? I also have Honey Buzzz, which is one of my personal favorite games of all time, and if you're familiar with Honey Buzzz, these hexes should look very familiar for you, or familiar to you. I also have the Lost Ruins of Arnak, again, another one of my favorite games of all time. So it's so fun to just have all these different games that you're able to kind of sit down and do little mini game versions of. But then on top of that, just the inherent gameplay of this game, I fell in love with, and I said for whatever reason, put it away and hadn't really thought about it for a while, but I just recently broke it out again, played it, and I don't know why I ever stopped playing. I'm never going to stop playing this game. If you are new to the channel though, and you haven't yet subscribed, it means so much if you could kind of quickly do that. It really kind of helps support us in everything that we're doing over here. And I also just kind of want to give you a little reminder at the beginning of this video to please play along with me and then drop your scores in the comments below so everybody can see how much you beat me, basically. I wanted to give Stonemaier Games a special shout out for helping sponsor this video today, and let's go ahead and dive into the playthrough. All right, so I mentioned before how many different like games or kind of mini games that you can play throughout this game. The game takes place over 3 rounds, and so for every single round, there are 3 specific cards chosen. So every game, you'll basically choose 9 realms. I've already pre-selected the realms that we're going to be playing with today, and I shuffled them up, and so these are the 3 that originally came out. So starting in round 1, we're going to be playing with Tidal Blades, Meadow, and the Guild of Merchant Explorers. If you haven't played this game before, it's totally fine. I'm going to kind of, especially the first little bit, talking out loud and kind of explaining what happens. So let's first take a look at these 3 areas that are the 3 mini games that we're going to be playing. So we have Tidal Blades, where we are going to be trying our best to defeat these monsters, and if we do, we will get advance along this champion track, which will get us stars. Let's take a quick look at Meadow here. Meadow, we're going to be slowly filling out this grid, moving up this track. I think I forgot to mention this, but every single thing you do in this game, you are just trying to get stars. That's how you win the game, is by getting the most stars. So that's how we're going to be trying to get points in Meadow. And then the Guild of Merchant Explorers, which is honestly one of my favorite. I love this one because it works so well with the real game too. But what you're going to be doing is we'll, based on the dice that we roll, we will move out along this map and explore, hopefully collecting, again, these stars that are kind of on the edge of the map. So those are the 3 that we're going to be working with. Right over here, this little card, I forget what it's called. It's just like a resource. What is it called? Yeah, resource card, a resource card. All this does is just helps keep track of the resources that we will collect throughout every single round. And then of course we have our scorecard here. At the beginning of every single round, you will actually roll a set of dice. Now, again, if I was playing with more players, we would each take turns rolling dice, but it's just me, so I'm going to be the one rolling the dice every single round here. I also want to mention that in the Redux version, you get these beautiful purple ones. In the base game, it's let's see. Here you go. Okay, so you can kind of see the difference. So in the base game of Rolling Realms, it's these like blue and green dice. In the Redux version, it's the purple version, or the purple versions of the dice. And purple is Addie's favorite color, so I'm going with the purple ones today. There's going to be 9 turns in every single round. And like I mentioned before, how you start every single turn is by simply rolling the dice. So the game has begun. So I rolled a 5, and then I also rolled a 6. You're going to take your little pen, and you're going to fill in those numbers on the little first round tracker. Now, using those 2 numbers, this is where you're actually going to interact with the cards that are going to be in play for this current round, right? So in round 1, it's Tidal Blades, Meadow, and the Guild of Merchant Explorers. I will take one of those numbers and choose which mini game I want to interact with. So I can choose any one that I want, but I can't activate the same card like twice with 2 different numbers. So I couldn't come to the Guild of Merchant Explorers with the 5 and then again with the 6. It has to be 2 different realms. So I have my numbers for this turn, so let's kind of figure out what I want to do. It's a good thing I can edit this out because this game leads to a lot of analysis paralysis for me. It's really hard to do. So right now I think I'm going to skip activating this Meadow card at all because really the only thing that I could do, well, let's kind of explain what the Meadow is. So on the Meadow, if you roll the number 1 through 4, you will write it on this fence post. Then you will cross off a symbol that many spaces away, and then you will mark basically mark off the card. If the symbol that you mark on that card actually corresponds with this track here, for example, if I crossed off a berry, then I could actually cross off a berry here and work up this track, again slowly gaining any resources that I might cross off as well on this track. But that only works for numbers 1 and 4, and because I rolled a 5 and the 6, the only thing I could really do on the Meadow is kind of move up this track, which is good for resources, but I think I kind of want to focus and maybe use these numbers where they might be a little bit more useful for me. So I think I'm going to start on the Guild of Merchant Explorers here. How this one operates is based on the numbers that you roll, you will then be able to, again, mark off those specific areas. And you are trying to get all the way to the edges of these maps to get the stars. So I'm actually going to go ahead and use my 6 because it kind of gives me the most powerful ability. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to cross this river here. I'm going to try to get across the river. So by using my 6, I can actually cross off 1 river space and then 2 of whatever, or 2 basically wild spaces. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead. Should I go this way? I don't know. Let's see. So I'm going to cross this off for my 1 water space. And then for my 2 wilds, I think I'll cross off here and then here. So if you noticed, as I was crossing this off, I actually crossed off a heart. Every single time you cross off something, you actually get it as a resource. So this heart, how you track that is on your little resource board here. So what I'm going to do to show that I've actually gained a heart is I will circle 1 little heart there. If you take a look on this resource card, you are on your turn, you can spend resources in order to gain certain abilities or gain different stuff. You can pip dice up, you can pip dice down, you can roll, like basically re-roll dice. They help you quite a bit. So you definitely want the resources if you can get them. Okay, so that was my 6 that I used here, right? That was my 6. So now I have a 5 remaining, and I'm going to go ahead and come over here to Tidal Blades. What you're going to be doing on Tidal Blades is every single monster, you're basically trying to attack these monsters, and to do so, you need to have the dice values completely filled out in order to kill them. If you kill them, you will get, again, some trophies, which will help advance you along this champion track, and based on where you are at the end of this round, you will get that particular amount of stars. I have a 5 that I'm dealing with, so I could go ahead, maybe I should just start, I don't know, maybe I should start here, because this guy is the hardest to kill. He's gonna need 4 dice, but if I do actually manage to get those 4 dice, then I will get 4 trophies out of that, which would bring me up a decent amount. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to deal some damage to this blob right here. Again, because I crossed out that dice, I will automatically get a trophy, because that was the reward for crossing out that particular dice. All right, so hopefully with all that explaining out of the way, you were able to take your turn as well. Feel free to like pause the video to take your turn. All right, so let's go ahead and go into round 2 and see what we get. All right, so we have a 3 and a 5. So we're gonna come up here, mark a 3 and a 5. I totally forgot to mention this dice tray, by the way, but how amazing is this? Josh from Modern Meeple was the sweetest, and he custom made me this dice tray with bees in it. Isn't that so cute? I love it so much. I'm so obsessed. Okay, anyways, back to the game. So 2 numbers here. We have a 3 and a 5. Ooh, I think I'm actually going to activate Meadow this time because I didn't last time, right? So let's see. I really want to try to advance along this track. There's a decent amount of stars that you can collect along the way. So it would be great if I could use one of the 3, for example, to get one of these symbols. So I could put the 3 here, because then 3 in would be a berry, which would kind of start to advance me along that track. Or I could do the 3 on this side, which then allows me to get the mushroom here, so I can go up this track. Because my thought process is, I know I'm gonna have to use a lot of dice over here on Tidal Blades. And to get up this track, I don't know, that'd be tricky. See, this is where the analysis paralysis comes in. I think I'm going to go for the mushroom. No, because, okay, I'm just gonna go for the berry, because there's 3 points right there. 3 stars I could get if I just try to go crazy on that track. So I'm gonna go for it. Okay, so I'm gonna put a 3 here. So that's why I'm using my number 3. So now I go 3 in, 1, 2, 3, cross that off, which is a berry, which then allows me to cross off this, because again, matching symbols, and then I get a coin for doing that. Sweet. All right, so that was my 3. Now where should I place my 5? I could come back to Tidal Blades and I get a couple trophies for doing that. Ooh, should I do that? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. So I'm gonna come to Tidal Blades here, cross off that 5. So by doing so, I now get 2 trophies. Look, and I already got 1 star on Tidal Blades. That's pretty sick. All right, let's roll again, shall we? 3rd turn here. We've got a 5 and a 3. Oh my goodness, this game is so good. I'm already, we're already like 3 rounds in and I'm already getting giddy because I love it so much. Okay, 5 and a 3. So I'm kind of looking back on Meadow here because I'm kind of rolling higher numbers. So I kind of want to take advantage of, at least while I can, the lower numbers, kind of my thought process. So to go up this track, I need a flower. So if I write a 3 right here, that actually would let me cross off that flower so then I could advance up that track and get a star. Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. We'll just see what happens, okay? So I advanced up and look, I got my first star. First star. All right, so that was my 3. Oh, I forgot to write my numbers up here. I got too excited about, whew. Too excited. Oh my goodness, hold up. I rolled the same number. I just realized that. I rolled the same number. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Okay, 3, So now 5. I could just come right on back to Tidal Blades and do a little bit of damage over here. But 5 is also a really good number this way, because the 5 allows me to basically go on 3 different terrains. Yeah, this might be a bad move, but I think I'm going to advance a little bit on Guild of Merchant Explorers. So I'm going to use my 5, which allows me to go onto 3 different hexes. So, or 3 different colored hexes. So I think I'm going to come here and get this star. So on this particular card, the stars, if you can kind of tell, they're purple, and they actually count as any colors. So I'm going to go ahead and I will go 1 space here, and then 1 space here to collect that star. So that was 2 different spaces, and now I need a 3rd. I guess I'll come here and get a pumpkin, just because. All right, so those were my 2 moves. Okay, man, 6 and a 2. 6 and a 2. I really want to kill this monster over here on Tidal Blades, because look how many points. Like, look how many points or trophies, championship I can advance on that. And plus, I just want to kill him. I just think that'd be fun. Okay, I think I'm going to do that. So on the Tidal Blades, the 6 counts as any number. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that here. I just really want to get him. Kind of looks like Jabba the Hutt. Okay, so I'm going to use that to cross off that particular number, which gets me a coin. Okay, so that was my 6 that I used. Now coming back for my 2, I wonder if I can keep going at Meadow. Let's see, I need a bug. Is there something? Ooh. See, I could put a 2. I gotta hold up to the camera. I could put a 2 on this side, which allows me to cross off that bug, which then brings me up to that track. I think I'll do that. Or maybe I should do the 2 right there. Because, yeah, that's probably better. Okay, so I'll put the 2 here. Boop. Cross off the bug. Lets me advance on that track, which then gives me a pumpkin. I really like the pumpkins because if you spend 2 pumpkins, it allows you to adjust or pip up a die or down a die by 1, which is super nice. All right, coming into round 5. See, look how many 5s I've rolled. Holy moly. 5 and 4. I've rolled 5 almost every single turn. That's kind of crazy. Okay, so unfortunately, again, I could start on another monster, killing another monster over here, but I don't want to stretch myself too thin. So maybe I just ignore Tidal Blades for right now because I can't advance over there. Is there a way that I can get a bird? Well, I could spend my pumpkins to pip this down to 3, which then lets me get a bird. Let's do that. Yep, we're doing it. Crossing off 2 pumpkins, so I can pip this down, so it turns my 4 into a 3. Then I'm going to do, I guess I could do 3 on this side too. It's okay. I'll do 3 over here, which allows me to 1, 2, 3 mark off my bird, which gives me my bird here, which gives me 2 stars. Nice. So satisfying. Okay. So that was my 3. So now what am I going to do with my 5? I could just keep going over here. Should we do it? Let's do it. So I'm going with 5. So I get to cross off 3, or actually, yes. I can cross off 1 water space and then 2 anything. So I'm going to cross off a water space right here, and then my 2 anythings will count as these adjacent spaces, which actually both have stars on them. So I get a couple stars from that. Look, I got 4 stars that round. Feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good. Oh my goodness, another 5. Are these dice loaded? Jamie, are the dice loaded? 5 and 1. 5 and 1. Ooh, 1 is actually really good. I'm really happy I rolled a 1 because that's going to help me on this monster here because I need a 1. So I'm gonna go, that's where I'm gonna put my 1 for sure. Bloop, then I get a heart. So I get a heart up here. So that was my 1. What am I gonna do with my 5? Should I come back to here? Yeah, I think I'll skip meadow. I'm gonna go ahead and mark off this one for 1, this one for 2, which gives me another star. And then for my remaining location, I will cross off over here. So very quickly, the reason why I was able to break up my movement is because when you roll a 5 or a 6, it gives you 3 different colors that actually don't have to be like adjacent to each other, one right after another, but they do have to be connected to where you have previously branched out. So you start off inherently at the castle, but as you go further and further, there's like more connections and more things you can make. So I used 2 of my movement over here, and then I went back to the castle to then start off the other way. All right, okay, let's do it again. If I roll another 5, I swear. Oh my gosh! 5, okay. This is like, has this ever happened before? Okay, so 5 and then 4. Oh, this is not looking good for my monsters. Like, it's not looking good at all. Maybe, should I get a couple pumpkins? Just in case? Should I try to get some pumpkins? I'm scared. Okay, let's think here. So I could try to advance along this other track. Maybe I should do that. Because I could use my 4 right here, which gives me a mushroom, which is a mushroom. A mushroom is exactly what I need to start there. So let's do that. I'm going to put a 4, cross off my mushroom, and then boom, I get another star, which is great. Oh, I think I forgot to mark off this star on my monster track, but that's okay. All right, so that was my 4. 5. Well, I guess we'll just kind of keep going on the Guild of Merchant Explorers. So 5, I've got 3 different types of terrain that don't have to be adjacent to each other. So I'll come here and get a pumpkin because I really need a pumpkin. Come here and get a heart. I haven't really been using my hearts. And I guess I'll just come here just to try to get close to this star on the edge. All right, okay. Getting close to the end of round 1. I just want to kill my monsters, like so bad. I want to kill my monsters, please. Well, okay. Okay, another freaking 5 though. Gosh, it's like the universe trying to tell me something. Goodness gracious. I don't know what I want to do. Can I get a pumpkin? I could get another pumpkin from the Guild of Merchant Explorers, which then I can use the pumpkins to pip up this dice to 2, which then allows me to kill my monster. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I guess I'm coming back over here to the Guild of Merchant Explorers using my 5, which again gives me 3 different terrains, right? So I'll do this terrain. Well, inherently, I'll just do this terrain to get a star, first off. This terrain to get a heart. And then this terrain to get a pumpkin. Sweet. So now I have my pumpkins. Okay, so that was my 5. I'm going to use my pumpkins to bump this up to a 2 for me. Or I guess I'll leave it there. Adjust it to a 2, which then I'll use that 2. Again, what I really need is a 3. Oh my goodness. Or should I save the pumpkins? No, it's okay. I'll just do it. I'll just go for it. So I picked it up to a 2 for me so that I can cross this one off, which then gives me a heart. So I'll come over here and get another heart. So one of the reasons why I decided to do that is because I haven't yet used my coins. Now the coins are really cool. So throughout the game, based on if I spent a bunch of coins, I actually would gain an additional dice with the value that I spent on it. So I already have 2 coins. So if I am able to, this very last round, actually get another coin, well, then I can actually just spend all those coins just to simply get a 3rd value dice, which I can then use to fulfill my monster here. So it'll work out. It'll be fine. Just trust the process, okay? Trust the process. If I all right, let's see what I get. A 3 and a 2. Oh my goodness. Finally, if I can, that means I won't get any more stars from that. It's okay. It's fine. All right. So what I'm going to do right off the bat, I'm going to use my 3 to successfully kill this big baddie monster here. And I get 4. I get to advance 4 on this champion track because of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I have 3 stars over there. And then for my final one, unfortunately, there's nothing I can really do at Meadow there's nothing I can do over here. So I'm going to use my 2 to advance to collect this final star here. Okay. Oh, I forgot to write down my things. That might help. So 3 and 2. Perfect. All right. We did it. We did it. And I did decent. I wish I would have gotten at least one more. But it's okay. It's fine. It is what it is. All right, so once you finish that out, that signals the end of the round. So now what's gonna happen is you just will go up and just tally up the amount of stars that you were able to accumulate throughout that round. So I got 13 for the first round, so I'll come over here, put big old 13 for round 1. It is important to note that for every unspent resource that you have, it's worth 0.1 percentage of a point. So you need like 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I don't have enough. But if I would have had a lot, like more unspent resources, it would have contributed to more points for me, basically. All right, so that's what signals the end of the round. So now you are actually going to take your card here and you're going to erase the top half of it because we're going to be resetting essentially for the next round. Your resources also do not carry over from round to round. So you're going to take those and completely erase them. We're also going to go ahead and erase these little games that we were playing because we are done with them now. The game does come with like erasers, but I hate them. I don't know if you've ever played the game with them. They like leave marks everywhere. And for whatever reason, I just hate them. Okay, so I always just use like tissues. All right, okay, so with those out of the way, we're now going to go into our second round and let's see what games we have this time. All right, so we have Wonderland's War, Flamecraft, and Dog Park. Love these ones. Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of chat about what we're going to be doing on each one. So in Dog Park, you are going to be walking dogs, and every time you stop, you will be circling certain areas, which then potentially could give you points, okay, or resources, which are listed at the top. In Flamecraft, you're going to be enchanting or gathering, very similar to the regular Flamecraft game, certain shops, which then could potentially these shops will also give you abilities, okay. In Wonderland's War, there are going to be certain battles that will be occurring after certain turns within the round, and based on the numbers that you have placed there, you would either win those battles or lose those battles, okay? It just makes me happy playing this game. I just love it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start, starting with the first turn of round 2. Okay. Thank heavens, it's not another 5. So we have a 3 and a 1. All right, how do we want to do it this time? So I think I'm going to skip doing Wonderland's War for this round because I kind of want to have slightly higher numbers if possible. I don't know, should I at least go for my 3? Because the battles happen pretty soon. They happen at turn 4, turn 5, turn 7, 8, and 9. So it doesn't really give you a ton of options. Maybe I should just go for a 3. I don't know. Maybe. Okay. So what I'm going to do is in each of these circles, it tells you what turn those particular battles are going to trigger. So turn 4, we're not that far away from turn 4. So I'm just going to put a number in there and just hope that I can get a higher number later on. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a 3 here. So I get a pumpkin. It's always good to have a pumpkin anyways. So that's where I'm putting my 3. My 1, I think I'm going to go ahead and maybe start. Maybe I'll just go ahead and I'll enchant. So when you are okay, so in Flamecraft, you can enchant, which means circling one of these resources at the top, or you can gather. When you gather, you need to have the associated number in order to gather, which I don't have because I have a 1. So the only thing I really can do is enchant, because you can use any number to enchant. So I'm going to go ahead and enchant and get another pumpkin. The main reason why I'm doing this is just because I want the option to be able to adjust or pip up a dice up or down. So that's why I decided to do that for that round. All right, okay, so now we're moving into second round. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. High number, 6 and a 1. Wish the other number was higher too, but it's okay. All right, so 6. I'm actually going to assign my 6 to Wonderland's War, but I'm actually going to do it in turn 5, because if you look, if I win in turn 5, it's actually 2 stars. So I don't know, I feel like that's a more important battle to kind of be trying to get. So I'm going to put a 6 here. Still holding out. I've got one more turn to maybe get a high number for 3, but that's okay. And then for number 1, maybe I'll just, I don't know the options. Okay, maybe I'll just get started on Dog Park. So I'm going to, when you do this this particular game, you are moving your dogs all the way to the end, and you will get stars based on the amount of like tennis balls that you've circled. The tricky part is, though, you don't want to be circling a lot. Like, think of it as like, or at least I think of it as like wearing your dog out. You don't want to wear your dog out too much. So if I can make it so I only trigger 0, like if I trigger 0 or 1, then I'll get 2 stars. So I think I'm going to advance this dog just once, just to kind of get it started on the track, and then hope that I roll a really high number so I can skip all of these and then hopefully come over here home. So that's what I'm going to try to do. So I'm going to assign my 1 over here and get a dog bone. And then I also will get a coin for doing that. So I'm going to come up here. All right. So I really need, it'd be great if I could get some high numbers here. Or I'm totally screwed on this battle, most likely. Okay. Oh, perfect. A 5. Okay, I'm just going to go straight to Wonderland's War and assign that 5. And then I have another 1. I really don't want to advance any of my dogs with that 1. So I think I'm just gonna enchant again. Get myself another pumpkin here. And then if you take a look at the card, because I actually enchanted both of the times at this shop, I actually get a star now for doing that. So at least I got 1 star. I have a feeling this round won't be as good as round 1, but we'll see. All right, turn 3. We have a 5 and a 2. 5 and a 2. Okay. Where do I want that? Because I have a really high number here, I think actually what I'm going to do is advance my dog, because I have enough pumpkins that I can pip this value up by 1, so it actually becomes a 6 for me, which allows this dog to go all the way there, skipping all of those tennis balls, which is really nice. Okay, so that's where I'm going to assign my 5. Now what am I going to do with my 2? Maybe I'll come back to Flamecraft here. So I'm actually going to gather this time. So when you gather, you have to place the number that you need onto the shop, and then you get to get stuff because of that. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 2 here. So now, because I'm gathering, I actually get to or gain these outlined resources that I enchanted at the earlier turn. So I actually now get 2 pumpkins, which is awesome. And then I can actually activate the shop's ability, which says I can enchant anywhere, which basically means I can outline another resource. So I think I'll go ahead and enchant there to give me another coin. All right, round 4. I just want to make sure that I'm doing the Wonderland's War 1 right. That's the great thing about Rolling Realms and the Redux version is, well, especially the Redux version, is it has, like, it goes through and explains how every single card operates. So if you have any questions, you can just refer to the rulebook, which is awesome. So I'm just trying to remember when these activate. It says, yeah, so it's at the end of turn 4 when these are going to activate. Okay, so I just couldn't remember if it was at the beginning of turn 4 or the end. I thought it was the end, but I wasn't sure. All right, so I have a 1 and a 4 here. I could use my, that's an interesting idea. I could use my pumpkins to pip down the 4 so that I can bring that dog all the way home and get a couple stars for that. Or I could use my 4 here in Wonderland's War to ensure, or at least kind of feel good about this battle here. I think I'll do that. I think I'll do Wonderland's War just to ensure, because I really don't want to miss out on those points. So I'm going to do a 4 here. And then my 1, I guess I'll just go ahead and enchant this just to get another coin. But that also gives me another star too. So that's pretty good. All right, okay, so restart. So now this is when this is going to trigger. So because this is triggering, both of these numbers combined have to either equal to or be, I think it's equal to or be greater, right? Yeah, it must be equal to or greater the sum of the numbers rolled this turn. So this turn, the sum of the numbers was 5, and I clearly beat that, right? So I won. So it was versus 5, and I won, so I get 1 star for that, which is awesome. All right, so now we go into turn 5. Ooh, high numbers, 6 and 4. Whoa, those were terrible. Holy moly. 6 and 4. Can't read that at all. Okay, I'm just going straight to dog park for 4 because that'll bring my dog all the way home. And then the 6. I think I'm going to go ahead and put the 6 just right into turn 7. Yeah, for Wonderland's War. Trying to get my battles. I think the Wonderland's War one is so fun. So fun. All right, round 6. Ooh, we got another 6 and a 1. Let's see, how's over here looking at dog park? If I have 6 over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, I could try to bring this dog up again. I think I'll do that. I will bring this dog up to that point. And for my 1, I don't know, should I just enchant again? I'm just enchanting in Flamecraft. All right, 7, round 7. I have, oh, did we forget the battle? Oh my gosh. I totally forgot the battle that happened. It's okay. We can just retroactively go back into it. So, the battle should have taken place over turn 5 and the end of turn 5, and I just completely spaced. So we actually did win the battle. Just, we got the same. We got the same at the very least. So the battle worth was 9, and we got that. So we went ahead and we got two stars for that. Goodness me, I almost messed that up. Okay. Sorry about that. So yeah, this should have scored at the end of round 5, but we still won, so that's good. I think, did I roll these? I think I rolled these. Yeah. Okay. So we have a 5. So coming into round 7, though, we have a 5 and then a 2. Obviously, I'll go ahead and put my 2 over here in Wonderland's War, because I know that I'm going to win this particular round just simply by doing that. So that's a good place to put my 2. And then the 5. Should I try to move? Well, I don't know. Does this dog actually 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, but I can actually spend my pumpkins. I think I'll do that. I'll spend 2 of my pumpkins to pip this 5 down, so it actually becomes a 4 for me. And then I'll bring my dog all the way home. And that dog didn't collect any tennis balls either. So I get 2 more stars for dog park over there. Perfect. I'm not going to forget this time. So now the battle takes place at Wonderland's War. We needed to beat 7 and we got 8. So we won. So we get another star over here in Wonderland's War. Man, we're winning all the battles. We're like crushing it. Okay, we have, okay, we got a 1 and a 2. And a 2. Oh, that's not going to help us in Wonderland's War at all. I guess we could use our 2. Yeah, let's come back to Flamecraft here. So we're going to go ahead and use our 2 here, which allows us to get 2 pumpkins. 1, 2. And we get to do this ability now. So it says I can actually enchant somewhere else. So we'll go ahead and enchant here, which then gives us a star. It's another star right there. So I was just thinking that we're not going to have enough dice to bring any, like, walk any more dogs. But I forgot we have some coins that we could spend just to get an additional dice. So I almost wonder if we should do that and just try to walk this dog all the way to the end in one turn. Is that even possible? Probably not. Let's see. So if we get a dice of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I use my 1 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we get a 6, it'll work. I'm going to go for it. We're just going to see what happens. Okay, so I get a dice for a value of 3. Then I'm going to spend the 1 to move my dog there. And if we get a 6, fingers crossed for a 6. Oh, please. Please be a 6. I will be so happy. Oh my gosh, no. Oh, but I have the pumpkins. Oh, yes. Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm using my pumpkins. So sorry. We got a 5 and a 3 for this round. 5 and a 3. I am going to use 2 of my pumpkins to adjust the 5 to a 6, which then allows me to bring that dog all the way to the end. It did unfortunately pick up 1 red tennis ball, but that's okay because I still get 2 stars despite that. Nice. Okay, that was amazing. So now 3. Sorry, the battle should have happened at the end of turn 8, but I clearly lost that. So we just kind of skipped that part. I have a 3 now. There's really no point to do Wonderland's War. Let's go ahead. Yeah, we'll do Flamecraft here. That actually works out perfect. So I actually fully complete this shop now, which gives me 1 star inherently for doing that. Perfect. Oh, that worked out so good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and count up all my stars now for round 2. 14. 14. I actually did better in round 2 than I thought for sure I was going to do worse. Like, much worse, much worse. All right, okay, and I didn't get that battle. All right, so now we move on to the final round of the game. So we erase our little top half of the scoreboard, erase our resources. Again, if you did have a lot of leftover resources, you can convert those to points. I'm going to erase our little mini games here. I did actually kind of pick out my favorite mini games for this playthrough. In the Rolling Realms one, these ones are all my favorite. I just think they're so fun. Now we're going to move on to our final 3 that we're going to be doing for this game. Planet Unknown, Legacy of You, and Rock, Paper, Scissors. We'll put our old ones up here. All right, so we'll go ahead and chat just for a second about what we're going to be doing on each of these. So starting with Planet Unknown, we're basically, it's kind of like a polyomino game where you'll be drawing out shapes, and then if you're able to fulfill rows, you'll get stars that way. In Legacy of You, you're going to be putting numbers on the top half of the river and the bottom half of the river, and you want the sum to be greater than the sums on the left hand side of are going to be greater than basically the numbers that come before it, so you're always trying to get bigger and bigger numbers as you flow down the river. And then Rock, Paper, Scissors, you're trying to win battles. It's kind of interesting the way that it's done, which again, I'll walk you through it as we do it. But yeah, it's just kind of an interesting one that I thought was funny. All right, okay, so let's go ahead and kind of jump into this final round here. Turn 1 of round 3. Let's see what number we get. Ooh, 6 and 4. So we're gonna put a 6 there and a 4. All right, what do I want to do? Oh, the analysis paralysis is kicking in again. Okay. What should we do? Okay, so I think I'm going to go with Planet Unknown. I really want to fill out this I really want to fill out this planet. I just think it's so fun. So what we're going to be doing is you're going to be assigning numbers to certain shapes, okay? And the value of both of the numbers that you assign have to be equal to or less than 7. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign my 6 to this kind of interesting shape here, because I think that's kind of, I don't know. I probably won't be rolling a ton of 6s. I don't know, maybe I will. I don't know, it's so hard. I'm just going to go for it, okay? I'm going to assign this shape to number 6, okay? I'm just going to do it. So I am going to do that. So I'll put a 6 there because I just filled in the number. I now also get a coin for doing that. And now I actually can use my 6 to draw that shape on my board. And I'm going to draw the shape just like this. It's kind of hard to do that over here. But the reason why I did that is because, again, I'm trying to build out as many rows as I possibly can. So I'm just kind of starting at the top. I'm going to work my way down. You can rotate that shape if you want to as well. So just kind of be aware of that. But that's why I went ahead and put my 6. And then my 4, I'm not going to do rock, paper, scissors because the way the rock, paper, scissors works is you pick one of the numbers. So for example, my 4, I would put a 4 right here. And then it's going to work against the other number that you rolled. So in this example, it would be the 6. So because I have the 6 here, that means I would put the scissors right there, which means I would just automatically lose the battle, right? Because scissors will beat paper, which is what my 4 would have been. So it's not really beneficial for me to do rock, paper, scissors right now. So I'm just going to do Legacy of You. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to assign a 4 maybe right here, and we'll just kind of see what happens. I don't want to assign the 4 too close to the beginning because you want your numbers to always get gradually bigger, and if I have a really big number here, then I won't really be able to work out very far from that. So, all right. Okay, coming into round 2 now, we have a 5 and a 1. Okay. I think I'm going to just start off by putting my 1 right underneath this 4. So then it comes at 5. That's kind of be tricky, but it's okay. It's fine. Oh, and I totally forgot. When I got the 4, I should have gained a pumpkin. And then with this one, I gain a heart. But now I actually am going to do rock, paper, scissors with my remaining 5. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 5 right here. Boop. And then I get a pumpkin for doing that. And now the other number that it's going against is the 1, which actually is the rock, which means that I actually beat this first round. So I won. So I beat a round in rock, paper, scissors. The more rounds you win, the more stars you're going to get at the end of the round, essentially. So, all right, let's keep going. So we have, 2 1s. Okay, snake eyes. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my 1 to, I guess we'll see. I think I'm going to come here and use the 1. The 1 is already pre-assigned, which I didn't really think about when I did that, but oh well, it's fine. I guess I just want to forget that shape. Okay, so the 1, I'm just going to go ahead and activate it and use it, and I'll use it for one of my 1s. So I'll fully fill out that row, which actually gives me a star by doing that, which is really nice. And then my other 1, I think I'll just go ahead and put it on this section of the river and hope that I can get like a 3. So that way this number would be a 4 and we're still looking good in regards to the numbers lining up there. For 3, hope for 3. Oh my goodness, a 3! Ask and you shall receive. Okay, so I got a 1 and 3. I'm just gonna go ahead and lock in a 3 on the river. So my value is 4 total for that spot. So we're looking good chronologically. It's all working out. And then I have another 1. Technically, I could just straight up use that 1 to fill out my planet. Because, yeah, I wouldn't win in rock, paper, scissors at all. So, yep. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to use my 1, fill out 2 more spots, and now I just straight up get another star, which is nice. All right. Fifth round. A 2 and a 3. Wow, we're rolling low numbers now. A 2 and a 3. I'm definitely really not going to do anything with rock, paper, scissors because it's not really going to help me at all. So I think I'll just go ahead and assign the 3 here, in this general area, maybe. Yeah, and hope for another 3 so I can get a 6. That would be ideal. And then my 2, what's a shape that I could use right now? Maybe I'll assign a 2 right here. So I get a pumpkin. And now I can draw that particular shape on my board. I guess we'll come here like that. Does that look like that shape a little bit? I gotta like fill this in a little bit better. It's not looking good. All right, we'll just go with that. This might be my worst round. It's a good thing I did good the first time. Okay, so I have a 6 and a 2. Okay, so we would actually win rock, paper, scissors this time if we go with our 2. So we'll go ahead and do that. So we'll do 2 over here. We get a heart. And 2 is rock. And then the number that we're competing against is 6, which is scissors. And rocks break scissors. So we'll go ahead and we'll actually win that one, which is really great. So that's where our 2 was assigned. So now our 6, I wonder if we should just straight up slot 6 in up here and then hope for another high number. Yeah, I feel comfortable with that. Okay. All right. Man, look, we like have got no stars. Oh man. I feel like we're not doing so. I guess we've got 2 stars, but that's not looking super great for me. Okay, so I've got a 6. So I could just slot in another 6 there. And then we could, oh look, we did the same numbers again. Oh my goodness, 6 and 2. So we could just do literally the same thing we did last time and ensure another win. Let's do that because we really need to start getting some points at rock, paper, scissors. So we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 stars based on how many we've won. So if we go in one more, at least we would get 2 points. So maybe we should, yeah, I guess we'll just do the same thing we did last time. So we'll slot the 2 in here, get a coin versus 6, which allows us to win there. Okay, so that's our 2. And then I think, yeah, we'll just slot our 6 in here just to ensure that we're still looking good. Yeah. Okay, we really need to start building out a little bit more in Planet Unknown. Okay, so so we have 5 and 1. I feel like I've kind of given up on Planet Unknown. How are you supposed to fill out all those columns? That's crazy. I guess I should have probably put this down here so it filled out more. Oh well, it's okay. It is what it is. So I think maybe it's really pointless to continue doing rock, paper, scissors anymore because there's no way, I mean, just with the amount of rounds that are left, there's no way we're going to get that. So we have to figure out the best way to do these now. So I think I'm going to assign my 5 here to Legacy of You because I most likely am going to be able to get another one there. Well, I will be able to get another one there. So that's a good move, I think, for my 5. And then for my 1, I'm just going to do it on Planet Unknown. The question is, what's the best way? I guess it's, oh gosh. Darn it, I don't know. Okay, I guess I'll just go here and just hope and pray that we can figure out something. All right, okay, very last turn of the game. 2 4s. All right, interesting. Okay, well, I guess I'll just slot in my 4 right there. So So I get a 9. Okay, so then inherently for this game, I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just get 4 stars, which is really nice. Oops, that was 5. 4 stars. Okay. And then the final 4, I guess I can just assign to this shape, which then allows me to at least complete 1 more. I definitely did not do super good that round. Okay, so Planet Unknown, Legacy View, and then Rock, Paper, Scissors, now kind of adding up the points, is I got 3, which means I get 2 stars for Rock, Paper, Scissors. Oh, that was a really sad round. I started off so strong, and then it ended so sad. Okay, so let's add up our points. 9. I only got 9 stars. That's so sad. All right, so I got 36 points. 36 points from Rolling Realms today. Again, just double checking that if you have any resources that you're able to convert into stars, you can do it that way. But yeah, I got 36. That's kind of sad. Let's look at this. 36. Well, I mean, it's actually probably one of my better scores in the game because I normally do really bad. But the round 3 was kind of disappointing for me. I didn't do as well as I was hoping I would do. If you are following along and played this game with me, thanks so much. I'm sure you completely kicked my trash. So please, 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 please brag about your scores in the comments below. I truly just love this game. I hope that you can kind of see how interesting of a game this is and how fun it is. Again, I do have the original game along with the Redux version, and there are so many, like once you have all of those, especially with all the promos that you can get, there's so much variability with this game and so many kind of different ways you can approach it, which I just think is so much fun. This has easily become one of my favorite roll and write games of all time. It is on my top 100 games list for a reason because it's so fantastic, so good. But with that kind of closes out and rounds out my playthrough. If you did play your own version of this game against me, thanks so much. I hope you had a fun time. I had so much fun playing with you. Again, I wish I would have done a little bit better in that last round, but it's okay. I'm sure you did fantastic. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Again, I want to give a special shout out to Stonemaier Games for helping sponsor this playthrough. And again, if you enjoyed this video and you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, it means so much if you could do that. It really helps support me in everything that we're doing over here. But until next time, I hope you have a great rest of your day and we'll see you later.